ATT.
So where are we at today?
The audit continues, and no change. We keep moving forward. Accuracy is the best way to accomplish speed, so we're focusing on that. Obviously, at the end of the week, Phoenix Union High School District takes over the facility on Saturday to get ready for some graduations next Monday through Thursday. So we'll stand aside and secure all the ballots and equipment here on the property and be ready to go when they're finished.
How far are you along today?
I haven't heard any numbers. I was home in Prescott for Mother's Day, so I haven't checked with that, but we're yeah.
15,000 or maybe more?
I think we're more than that, probably 2.25, maybe 250 or something. I see the number of boxes going down in the to be counted corrals, and we're a little slower in the paper evaluation process than the counting, but as far as counted ballots, I think we're approaching 250,000.
And so the paper evaluation continues in addition to counting, is that right?
Yes, they've increased the paper evaluation tables from 8 to 15, I think, so I think they're trying to catch up on that to the number of ballots that have been counted.
I know you guys increased the amount of tables on the floor. It looks like about half of the tables are empty this morning. What does it look like with personnel, staffing? Are these volunteers? Are you hiring more people?
The subcontractors are hiring or receiving more volunteers, but everyone has to go through a background check, and so they're going through that process, and I think that's taken a little more time than maybe they or we had hoped, but they're being thorough on that, and I think when we're hopefully within a few days or when we come back after the graduations, we'll be fully stocked at the tables and ready to go.
About how many people do you think that's going to be?
Well, when we had 20 tables and there was 5 at a table, that's 100. If there's 46 now, times 5, and you're talking 230. So it's more than a doubling of the number of people to process the ballots when you go from 20 to 46 tables.
So you say that you'll pause the audit and then come back to finish it inside the Coliseum, but the State Fair has not confirmed that you have a deal with them to do so. Is there a deal in place for you to return, or are you just assuming it'll be available for you guys?
They've told us that once the graduations are over, we can come back, and they're getting the paperwork ready to be signed. So
Where do the ballots go in the meantime?
they'll be secured here on the property.
Here on the property, is it going to be the same sort of setup where it's like streamed like this all the time, or?
We're planning on live streaming the storage of the ballots during that week that we stand aside. So yes, they will be secured with live streaming and 24/7 guarded security.
And I know that you say you will come back and finish the audit. Are there any circumstances in which you would not finish the audit?
None that I can think of. I mean, I think it's very important that we do this to make sure that the people of Arizona can have 100% confidence that their elections are transparent, the outcomes were fair, and that they're publicly verified. So we'll do it until it's done, and that's our plan.
Has anything changed about the deadlines for the contractors to report to the Senate? I think there was something in the initial scope of work about a report in 60 days or something. How does this change that? And kind of what
If there have been delays, then I'm sure the Senate will accept a later report. There's no use giving a report until you've done all the work. So once all the work is done and they have a reasonable time to put the report together, then it'll be given to the Senate as soon as they can.
And I got a question about from one of my colleagues who can't be here today. But was there, and this is coming from them, was there anything about a police report that you filed about any sort of threat received?
I had a personal threat that I reported to the police, yes.
Was it against you or
It was against me.
What happened? Was that here in Phoenix? Was that anything that you're worried about or anything that you're getting along?
I'm not worried about it. I reported it to police, but it was an email threat to me, and unfortunately that is happening to all kinds of people involved in the audit, and we would hope that that would stop. I know that the governor decided to give more protection to Secretary Hobbs because of threats that she was receiving, and that disappoints us as well. So nobody needs to be threatening anybody's lives about this audit. We'll do the audit, we will release the results, and but I'm not worried about mine at this point. I reported it to the Phoenix PD, and they can take it from there.
Can you give us any other details on that?
No.
The Senate responded to the Department of Justice last week. Has there been any other correspondence from them? Have you heard any other?
Not to my knowledge. I responded to the Secretary of State's office, and I think President Fan responded to the DOJ, and I'm not aware of any further correspondence on either of those counts.
And what about additional subpoenas? Is that more, I don't know how much you're involved in that, or if that's more of a Senate judiciary?
If there are additional subpoenas for information that was asked for that we haven't received, that'll be up to the Senate.
To what extent has that information that's been asked for but not received? To what extent is that affecting what you do?
Well, one of the items subpoenaed that has not been provided are the passwords to get into all aspects of the election management system and the machines. The subcontractor doing the machine evaluation was able to get into the machines with a primary password but ran into a secondary password. Maricopa County now says that they don't have any more passwords, so those passwords must be held by their contractor, Dominion. And so the Senate will have to decide whether they either subpoena those through Maricopa County to get them from their vendor, Dominion, or whether they subpoena those directly from Dominion. The other thing that hasn't been provided, or among other things that haven't been provided, is access to the routers and the hubs and the internet connectivity that was at the McTech facility during the election. I think the subpoena said they were looking for information 90 days prior to and 30 days up after the election as to the routers and logs and things like that to confirm that there was nothing connected to the internet.
Where is the work with the machines happening? I'm sure you've answered that a million times, but
Well,
the first time I've been here since this was started.
The capture of all the data from the machines occurred here within the Coliseum, and then we returned the machines to Maricopa County that we had been able to get into fully. The 385 ICPs they're called that we ran into this, our subcontractor ran into the secondary password issue. Those are still being stored here. The subcontractor that captured all the forensic data off of the machines that they could have now returned to their secure lab where they're evaluating the information that they were able to capture.
The machines aren't anything that we're seeing.
No, they're in a different room, but they are live streamed, and you can see them on the live stream video.
Just so I'm reporting it correctly, did you say it was a death threat or was it a threat?
It was yes.
A death threat? Oh, okay.
Is there any other threat?
I just wanted to be sure that I was properly reporting it, but okay.
It was a threat.
Okay.
We're glad that you're standing here today,
Yes.
Me too.
And for giving us this time.
and next time too as well.
Hmm.
Is there anything about? I was going to ask you about I know what it was, aggregation. That was something that the Secretary of State's office talked about in her letter, and they raised an issue that as they had seen it, you had one person basically entering tally sheets into a spreadsheet. Is that what's going on? Is that
No, I'm told that there is a double and triple check of the aggregation process, just like there's a triple check at the tables when they're counting the votes on the ballot. The three people that are recording what they see on the ballots on their tally sheets, those have to match. And they are doing a similar double and triple check of the aggregated data that's putting into the spreadsheets.
Is that what happens down there with those screens?
Yes.
Very good. You answered my
Alrighty.
questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Want me to come down and help you with that?
I don't know.
Thank you so much for being here.
Alrighty. Thank you.